What is up, YouTube? Leviathan Kraken here. So, welcome to another Coldnautica update. I can't wait to show you guys what we have been working on for the past few months. So check this out. This is going to be called the Icy Fog. Now, this one, yes, we are going to be adding a cold meter. And if you're not wearing a special suit, yes, you will be dead very quickly. This one in particular, I want this one to be very lethal. And this is a look that I specifically requested. I wanted there to be, it's going away. I wanted there to be a light blue icy fog. Now, as you can see, this one is called the light snow. So we do have snow particles now. And we might add a little bit more clouds to the sky for this one because I think normally when snow is coming down, it's more overcast. There's more clouds in the sky. But so this one uses the Epic Weather mod as a dependency. So we're going to go to set weather. Let's see. Now we got frosty skies is actually just clear skies. So let me show you heavy snow. So this is coming down. Yeah, now as you can see, we have more clouds and the snow has doubled. So yeah, I mean, this totally transforms Coldnautica. This is what it really needed. And I want to give a huge thank you to Corsair for this. I no way would have been able to do this without your help. And now, you know, all of the ideas that I had for this mod that I could only dream of are finally happening. So this, you know, from the glaciers, the icebergs to now this, it looks so much better. So let's see what else we have. Now we have, oh yeah, I got to show you the blizzard. The blizzard. Oh man, the whiteout. Now this one also, if you're not wearing that cold suit, yeah, you'll be dead very quickly. And yeah, a total whiteout. I think that's awesome. So, and then we have one last one. It's called Thunder Snow. So this one I've never personally seen thunder and snow mixed together, but I know it can happen. So what we have on this weather event is a little bit of light rain, some heavy snow, and then you'll hear thunder and you'll see lightning. Yeah, there we go. So it's kind of just a blending of the thunderstorm from the Epic Weather mod. So also huge thank you to Lee23 for the Epic Weather mod, because without, you know, the foundation that you have set for a lot of these mods, a lot of us wouldn't be able to figure this out. But yeah, what do you think, guys? We finally have weather in Coldnautica. I'm ready to crack open the champagne and celebrate. I'm going to be moving on to the next thing, so I'm going to show you guys what I have been working on. So as you've probably already seen the safe shallows, I have pretty much transformed a lot of it. Now, one thing that I'm definitely wanting to do is I want to get rid of all this green grass right here, because I don't want any green to be in Coldnautica at all. So I'm going to be transforming this, and then I'm also going to be adding a little bit more terrain to the very shallow areas. And what I'm going to be adding is something called the glacial tide pools. Now this will be tide pools that you can go through and you can find a bunch of small crabs and some maybe unique resources. It's going to be really cool. And as you can probably tell, everything looks a little bit brighter. What I have done is added something called a reflection probe. It's kind of like a shader, but all it's doing is basically tweaking the reflections. And I got some feedback on the Vivid Realism mod that I released. Some people liked it, some people did not. But what it's doing for Coldnautica, let me go back to day, is it's basically making this ice look very highly reflective. And I could probably make it look even more than that. But since it is obviously ice, I need it to be very shiny. The only problem is that it makes everything else bright, which I do want that, but what I might end up doing is lowering the brightness for everything else and have it to where it only affects certain objects. That way the ice can be really shiny, but everything else can not be quite as bright. So that's something I'm still working on. But let me show you the kelp forest. This is what I have been working on the past few months. And let me tell you, the devs in Subnautica, apparently this is their favorite biome because there is so much kelp forest in the game. It has taken me hours and hours to transform it. But yeah, as you can see, there's one spot that I missed. But yeah, I've transformed this into a purple coral kind of look, and I've gone with a 3-tone look. There is like a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and a lot of sand. Now, as a lot of you already knew, I transformed the kelp to purple, and I made the seeds look blue, and now I have changed the biome fog color to like a purplish pink kind of look. Not quite as murky, but, you know, enough to kind of, you know, set the tone. And so all that purple. So yeah, this is what I've been doing. I've been on a mission to get rid of all the green. And again, it took me hours to do this. But yeah, I'm very proud of how it has turned out. I might possibly add some more fauna, or I'm sorry, some more flora, some more corals and everything to this biome to kind of, you know, give it a little bit more. I have a few ideas, but again, that is going to be a lot of work. But yeah, this is a major transformation, guys. This mod is becoming a long way. So now I'm going to show you what I'm currently working on. Now this is the transformation of the red grassy plains biome that I am currently working on. I've only got maybe 15% of it complete. Now this, I'm going for a blue coral and a sandy two-tone kind of look. And some of these flora that I have reskinned them and got these from the Lost River, and I put them over here, giving them new textures. And yeah, this is the look that I'm going for to replace the red grassy biome, because I really didn't feel like that belonged in Coldnautica. I don't, for the record, I don't plan on changing every biome in Subnautica. I'm not going to do every biome because that would be a lot of work. But the ones that I personally did not feel would fit well with Coldnautica, those are the ones I'm changing. Hey there. Yeah, you can see I gave him a lot of glowing effect. Now this right here is something I'm still working on. As I've said, I'm adding what I call the ice volcanoes. They're going to be spitting out this icy mist, because there are actually ice volcanoes on planets like Europa. Well, I guess it's a moon, not really a planet, but I need to go and add some of these over here, and then I have to come over here and tweak the flora. So yeah, it's like a two-step process. I have to go in with the reef editor, I have to change the terrain, get rid of the red grass, and then I go in with structure editor and I go in and start adding the flora and making the other changes, adding the prefabs that I want. So yeah, this is going to be a complete transformation of this biome, and I am really happy with the way it looks. And again, with everything that I'm showing you, I am completely open to any suggestions, any new ideas. But yeah, I'm really liking the way that this looks. Another thing that I have done is I have retextured and cloned a ton of the crystals. Now, I've changed it so that way you can't actually pick these up. These are here just for decoration. They're not going to be for drilling or anything like that. Now, I have thought about giving some kind of use for them so that way you could actually drill and mine them and, you know, use them for some kind of resource. But for now, they're just for decoration. It's similar to the purple crystals that you have in Below Zero. You can't mine those. Those are just there for the looks. So I have been going into not all, but a lot of the caves in Subnautica, and I have been adding a lot, just turning them into one big, like, giant geode, just this entire crystal cave look. I think it looks beautiful, and I think it's going to completely brighten up Coldnautica, and really just, the whole purpose of Coldnautica is to completely just transform the game. Just a way to re-experience Subnautica in a completely different way. Now, as some of you probably already know, whenever you take an object in structure editor and you increase the size of it, you can have issues with collision. Now this was one of the biggest issues I had when I started this project up. Now let me show you an example. You're trying to jump up here and I'm running into an issue right here, like a collision issue, and so I have to jump to get over it. And whenever you stack a lot of these objects together, their collisions, well, they collide. And so it can make walking very difficult. And I knew that was going to be very frustrating for the player, because whenever they're walking on some of these objects that I have created, they're going to be having to, you know, like jump over all of this. So recently, Corsair has fixed the collisions on one of the objects. It's called Cracked Rock. It's basically a prefab of this big rock structure. And I was making islands with it. And whenever I connected all them together, the character would be walking and just like this would just stop. And so I haven't uploaded the fixed object that he has made for me just yet. So I'm going to upload that because we have to change the texture for it and add it to all the structure prefab adjustments. You know, it's going to be a little bit of work. But this, you know, I'm going to admit to you guys, this was part of the main frustration about this mod, And this is one of the things that kind of discouraged me from continuing, because there were just so many issues with placing rocks in certain areas that it really made it to where it kind of was like an immersion breaking issue. So I did not like that. But now that I've had his help and I've figured out actually myself how to tweak some of the collisions, like say for example this ice, there were certain parts where I was falling through the floor, and so I learned how to fix that. So I'm actually going to clone this, because this is actually a piece of glass. I'm going to clone it and set it so that way the character can walk on it without falling through, and then I'm going to have more areas of the water where there's going to be entire areas that are frozen over. So it's going to be beautiful. But I'm going to say, for one thing, I'm so glad that we fixed this issue. So yeah, this is all we have for now for Coldnautica, guys. I plan to release a few more update videos up until November, but let me know what you think. Are there certain ideas that you would like to see added to some of these biomes? Give me any of your thoughts. I welcome them in the comments. And if you love updates like this and you're new to the channel, then yes, I am a Subnautica modder. I'm not as, I'm not an expert like Lee23, but I'm learning. I'm getting better and better at it. And if you like the work that I do and the coverage of other Subnautica mods and Subnautica 2 news, then consider subscribing to my channel for future updates. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.